Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Game Dev Wannabe. So you want to become a game developer in Unity game engine. So first of all you need to learn some scripting language. Unity has three available scripting languages. That is C#, the second one is Unity Script or JavaScript for Unity, and the third one is Boo. So over the 80% of game developers in Unity uses C# programming language, so that is what we will learn and use. So first of all, to make some scripting and to write some code, we need a software for coding, and we will use Visual Studio from Microsoft. If you have Visual Studio already installed on your computer, just continue. If you don't have it, let me show you how you can download it and install it. So we will just go to this address. I will put this link down in the description of the video. So you just choose the version of your operating system, Windows or Mac OS, and download the install file. I'm sure that you will manage to install Visual Studio by yourself, so let's not waste our time by explaining that. Just to mention that my color scheme is dark, my theme, and if you want Visual Studio to look just right like mine, choose dark color theme. So let's start with our first application. It will be a console application. What is console application? Console application is a framework for creation of an app that doesn't have a user interface, but they run within console, which is in fact textual terminal. So let's start with creating our first console application. Go to the file, new solution, and we will choose Net Core App console application. Just make sure you have selected C# and sorry about this, and just click next. You can leave the target framework as it is. Next. Now we have to give our project a name. We will call it Game Dev Course. You should choose location for your project. Click browse, and if you already created that folder, you can choose it. If you didn't, you can make a new folder and create it. Open. Leave this create a project directory within the solution directory checked. We will use that and click create. Okay, I already created this project. Let's call it Game Dev Course 2. Okay, create. So in a moment our project will be ready. So what do we have here? The Visual Studio is showing which library are we using. We have the name of our program, what class we are using, and this is the main method that will execute first. So what do we have here? It is already written console.writeLine hello world semicolon. But maybe you will not have this already in your Visual Studio at the start, so we are gonna do it from scratch. So write console dot write line, open bracket, close bracket, open quotes closed, hello world, and to close this syntax, semicolon. After that we will write console read line, open and close bracket, and semicolon. So this is our first code and our first application. Let's try to run it by clicking on this play button. It is showing the progress, so build successful, and we will have the console opened and our code will execute and it will print hello world right here. That's the thing of our first application. We will close it now. And what happens if we, for example, forget to write everything like it's supposed to? If we erase this one bracket and try to, it is already underlined that something is wrong, but let's try to run application again. Okay, some errors are showing. Let's check what about these errors. When we click double click in on the error, the cursor will come to the place where the error is made, so that we can realize that something is missing here. So let's see once again. Double click on the error, and here's the cursors to remind us that we forgot to put the open bracket. Okay, now everything's fine. So what are important things to remember? You see that this is a capital letter on console, on right line. It is important to use capital letters as it is supposed to be. If I write this with small letter, the Visual Studio doesn't recognize this method, and we have to put the capital letter. Also, every open bracket have to have close bracket. Also, the quotes, we have to have it before and after the word. This is used in string type of data, but more about that later on the course. And at the end of this syntax we should put semicolon, like in the regular sentence in any languages. When you put the full stop at the end of the syntax, you should always put semicolon, so that if we, for example, write this like here, if I write this in the same line, these two instructions, the Visual Studio will know that that is two separate instructions, because we have semicolon here to make a separation. Okay. And one more thing in this first lesson, I want to show you the comment. What are comments? When we write 2 slash signs, that is a comment. It is the part of the code that will not execute when we click run and when we build application. So when we write 2 slash signs, I can leave a comment to myself or some colleague who will work on this code with me. So for example, I can write part of the code hello world. Never mind, just as some example. I can write whatever I want here, it doesn't matter because it would not execute. But commenting is useful in one another way. That is when I don't want to execute some part of the code, but I do not want to delete it. So I put the 2 slash signs in front of this line and I commented it so that it will not execute. You see how it changed the color. So that's one way how you can write comments, and there is another one, and that is instead of doing 2 slashes, to make slash and asterisk, and do that on the beginning of the code that you want to comment and to comment out, and asterisk slash, so reversed action, when you want to close the part what you want to comment out. So this now is, this section of the code is like commented out, so it will not execute. And if you erase this, it will execute again. So that's pretty much it for the beginning of this C# course. In the next lesson we will learn about variables. It is very important lesson, so be sure not to miss it. Please subscribe if you find this lesson useful, so that you can follow the course from lesson to lesson, and hit the like button if you like it. So thank you very much and see you in the next lesson. Bye.